Hello there, thank you for staying with us and welcome to Face Off on Channels Television. I'm Neota Igwe. Now, the era of accountability has been beckoning and it looks like it's here now. Since assumption of office, President Muhammadu Buhari has so far left no one in doubt in his resolve to curb corruption and reposition the country. For example, in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, a series of administrative changes have been effected by the president. Recently, he dissolved the 10-member board of the corporation and sacked heads of subsidiaries. The NNPC has been described by some as the engine room of corruption in Nigeria, with allegations of staggering sums of unremitted funds to the Federation account. Questioned, is the alleged corruption in the NNPC a result of internal decay and inefficiency or a product of external political interference? Will the shake-up in the corporation boost the NNPC scorecard? Is there a need for more legislation or a review of the existing NNPC Act? In all, is it the NNPC that seems to be stalling the activities in the oil and gas sector in the country? Some say there's not been a major investment in that sector. Hold it right there. What is the problem? Okay, the questions we're asking today. Is the stalled oil and gas sector growth the product of incompetence or political interference? And I have two gentlemen in the studio. Both of them have to do with, how do you do this? Money. One's a chartered accountant, the other is an economist. Alesta Wilcox, a chartered accountant. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, viewers.
And Mr. Olisa, Sam Olisa, is an economist. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, the question. Stalled oil sector, question of incompetence or political interference? Your position, please.
I want my...
Your position first.
I want my friend to shoot this first salvo.
What's your position so that we can go on a quick break?
Certainly incompetence.
Incompetence.
Yes.
Sir?
I don't agree with him. I would say
in one word, please. One or two words.
Political interference.
Thank you very much. We'll take a moment and we'll come back to continue this conversation. You are also part of this. Join us on via email, faceoff@channelstv.com, or via Twitter @faceofftoday or @neotaigbe. The stalled oil sector growth, incompetence, or political interference. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away. Welcome back. The stalled growth in the oil sector, question of incompetence or a political interference. Two gentlemen in the studio, an economist and a chartered accountant. The conversation begins now. I already have comments coming in. Someone says he believes it's political interference. Mr. Alesta, since you gave your opening, you took your position first. Ask the first question.
In buttressing my own opinion,
when I say buttress your opinion, say you should ask him a question. So
I don't know what he meant by political interference, and I think I wanted to let the viewers exactly into what you mean by political interference. If the NNPC is not supposed to be owned by government, who else is supposed to be owned? I mean, supposed to have owned it.
Maybe we should start. Is the NNPC the entire oil and gas industry?
No, of course, certainly not.
But
it's just an arm. It's a major player in the oil and gas industry.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alexa. I'm happy that question. I still maintain my position that instead of incompetence, what has been the bane of the decadence in NNPC is political interference. When I say political interference, I mean interference from the government officials, particularly the Minister of Petroleum Resources. Now, the NNPC is only one aspect of the oil and gas on which the minister manages. We have the DPR, we have the PPRA, we have the Petroleum Equalization Fund. But as at today, the Minister of Petroleum, particularly the last regime, because right now we don't have a minister presently, but in the last regime, the Minister of Petroleum Resources has the office of the minister in NNPC building. Why? He was chief minister of NNPC. Now, if you compare this with Ministry of Finance and Central Bank is autonomous, but NNPC is not. Is the minister of NNPC de facto? The minister acts as the chief executive of NNPC. And a lot of interference comes from the ministry. They did not allow competence to take place. It is not incompetence. Because when you look at it very well, the ministry, the NNPC have employed core competence staff. And going back memory lane, the K factor in the MOU, so joint venture equation, which is globally accepted, was developed by a Nigerian worker of NNPC, an expert, a mechanical engineer, a petroleum engineer. Well, no, as a K factor in that equation.
Mr. Lisa,
so I think competence is there.
Mr. Lisa, I think we are going too far.
No.
I guess we are going too far.
I'm not going too far. I'm only proving the competence by measuring that.
Okay.
But the interference. Look at the interference of the ministry. Why is it that the office of the minister is not in DPR? Why is it not in PPRA? Why is it not in the Petroleum Equalization Fund? Why NNPC towers?
Well, if I may answer you those questions. Look, NNPC is established by Act and has its structures, working structures. It has its independent working structures. It had an MD, it had an ED, and every other structures that are supposed to work and function as a corporate entity. That is the way NNPC has been programmed to be. It's an autonomous entity, devoid. No, I mean, not completely devoid of government regulation, but are not supposed to take instruction on day-to-day running of their affairs from government. Now, along the line, if you have refused to do your job and allowed mediocrity to set in by making the minister or whoever a superhuman being, even making the president or anybody a superhuman being, that you now think that it can allow to be lauded over, when the act that provides it does not specifically say that, then that shows how incompetent you are. Look, incompetence does not mean that you don't have the right degrees or the right qualification or the right personnel. No, incompetence means in discharging the responsibility that has been entrusted in you. Now, how does incompetence come into the whole matter? It is when you compromise your authority or position. Look, if you are appointed to do a job and there is clog in the will in doing that job, the honorable thing